back to Gossip and Guidance with your host Iromi from wherever you're watching or listening. Thank you for being here. Today I have a very special guest. Today I have my cousin Melissa.
Hi guys.
So we are gonna talk about relationships, all that good stuff, right? We're gonna talk about the red flags that there might be and we decide to ignore, and that's okay. We all go through that, but of course it's all about learning, right? And yeah, let's see what else this girls gossip brings us. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Melissa's recently engaged. She's gonna be getting married in April.
Yay! He did so good, you guys.
He did so good, okay? Down to the proposal.
Yes.
So,
fairy tale.
she's happily engaged. But we're gonna be talking about some of her experiences and what she has learned from them, and maybe some of you guys can relate to that. So Melissa was previously in a long-term relationship. She was, how many years was it?
Almost 6.
There was quite a few things, that she decided to ignore.
An understatement.
What were some of those like red flags? Like, I know you were in a long-term relationship, but did you stay there hoping that did you see yourself with this person back then? Like, is that why you stayed so long?
Back in the day, it was more the fact that I used to have a lot of timelines, and that would be like my biggest stress factor. I always thought by a certain age, you need to be here. By a certain age, I would hope to do this by then. So, and it was also more, you're already like with that person for quite a bit of years, so it's kind of like the thought of starting over, and I felt like I was getting older, and I'm like, So I would say I was, I settling, and I knew I was, but I just didn't want to admit to that.
That's true. I feel like a lot of people have that problem with the whole like timelines. I feel like I feel like it's not for many people, but there is a lot of people that go based off timelines. Like, oh, I need to be married by this age. I need to finish school by this age. I need to have a career and get married and have kids. It's like they planned everything because of, I feel like it's the age. The age gets to everyone. If it wasn't because of age, I don't think anybody would be like having timelines like that. But I feel like sometimes we give too much power to those timelines that we let them control our lives.
Yeah, you end up doing a disservice to yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that you got to learn a lot.
Yes. I no longer have timelines, and I guess one of my regrets is having all those timelines, because I feel like it kept me in a relationship that was over a long time ago.
Yeah.
But just the fears that we all have, and about getting married and having a family and having kids and getting older, and especially for women, we do have a biological clock, unfortunately, so, but yeah, it's a lesson learned, and
definitely.
you learn, you live, you move on.
Yes, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm glad. It did take, like I said, we grow every day. We literally, we're not the same person we were a week ago even, So we all learn. So I know we had this discussion going on, I think in one of Sarah's like TikToks, where she asked me, or I don't know, it's like a discussion we had going on in one of our videos, talking about if not being posted, if they don't post you on social media, it's a red flag. And everybody has their own opinions. Everybody says like, oh, I'm just a private person, which, hey, like, kudos to that. But I feel like you have to post at least one time your person, I feel like nowadays it's kind of like common. I'm not saying you have to show them off or anything, but it was a discussion of that. Like, some people don't think it's a red flag. Some people think it's a red flag. So how do you feel about that?
Like you said, like, we all have our different opinions on that, but me personally, like, I feel like it's a major red flag, because at least for me personally, if you really love someone, you want to show them off to your family and friends and whoever it might be. You're so excited to show off your person that you just want to take those nice, cute little photos and share them with the world because you want to share your happiness with everyone. So if you're unable to post about your relationship, I just feel like there's a reason why.
Yeah.
And it's never a good one.
So I know you kind of had a similar experience to that. Like, I know your past long-term relationship, like that was kind of like an issue because we all noticed that. But like personally, you behind doors, like how did you feel about that? Like, were you okay with that, or it was something that you just decided to ignore, or did he convince you?
I think it was a little bit of all the things you just said. Like at first, I was just like, you know what? He'll eventually post it, no big deal. And then after time, it was bothersome, and I wasn't okay with it. But when I brought it up, you would get told what you wanted to hear, and at that point, you kind of just don't feel like begging to be posted because that's shameful. It's embarrassing. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like to beg somebody to post you.
Yeah, like
you want them to come out of their heart at the same time.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like you have those red flags, like but then you don't want to like believe it, because you've been with this person for so long, and you know them, you're comfortable.
Right, and even if things cross your mind, you easily just brush them away because no one wants to really go into that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a red flag.
Okay. Do you think if you would have like listened to those red flags early on, you wouldn't have been with this person for so long?
Oh, most definitely. I get that sometimes we all stay in a relationship longer than we should, because the thought of starting over and all the time invested and moving on. But I do regret not listening to those red flags from a long time ago, to be honest with you, because if there's anything I can change would be listening to those red flags, because I would do anything to get more time with my fiance right now.
Ooh, see, but I feel like in your case, you went through all that, and sometimes you ask yourself like, oh, how come I didn't find, because obviously you're engaged now, how come I didn't find this person who is amazing to me, who it's everything that I wanted? And I know you question that, like, oh, how come I didn't meet him sooner? And like that kind of it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like annoying in a way. Like, I wasted my time, and now I'm with this person later on, and I feel like I'm rushing everything in a way. Like if you go back to that timeline again, if you think about your age, not the timeline, like your age, you feel like, man, I could have been with this person for a longer period of time, or like done this a little longer, or done that a little longer. But I feel like everyone has their own timing, and like you said, you stop caring about timelines. You stop caring about what you were supposed to do at this age, what age, and I feel like you're a lot more comfortable for sure. You're a lot happier.
Yes, a lot happier. A lot of that stress is off of me, and my fiance was the one who actually like really helped me, and you, of course, it was both of you guys that really helped me get over my whole timelines and me being in my own way of being happy and just living in the moment.
Yeah.
Because I would always just think ahead, like, oh my God, I'm already gonna be 30 and I'm not married, I'm not engaged, like I don't have a family, and so you and him worked wonders, because and I love you both for that, because now after like I completely like turned down all those barriers, like now I'm just so happy, and I'm actually enjoying the moment versus worrying ahead and forgetting what's in front of me is what I've always prayed for.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got in. I'm so happy for you. Like, I feel like you're getting everything you deserve and more. And again, that comes down to like everyone has their own timing. I know sometimes we go through rough patches, but just remember that you don't have to settle. Like, there's always better for you. Like, you don't have to settle in a toxic relationship. You don't have to settle where you don't feel loved or wanted. Just know, like, if it doesn't feel right and you're not truly happy, is that really the person for you? So you have to think about the red flags, your feelings, your gut, always your gut.
Right.
Always listen to your gut.
It's always right.
Because if you're not like, yes, I'm extremely happy, I'm this and that, then maybe there's some things that you guys need to fix, or like reevaluate the situation. Like, should you still stay in this relationship? Should you move on to a different one? Because obviously it's easier said than done. But like, I think the lesson learned here is time is precious and it goes by so fast So try to like figure that out and not hope. You can't have hope that someone's gonna change. You can't just, you have to work on it, and you have to decide for yourself, even if it hurts. If it means walking away, and then walking away might be, your happiness might be in the other door. You just never know. You have to give yourself that chance, and don't shut down in a relationship, you know?
Yeah, and I know, it's easier said than done. We're all victims of that, but I feel like for me, my personal experience, like, now my biggest regret is not leaving earlier. Like I said, like I would do anything to get more time with my fiance right now and meet him earlier. And I'm like, I could have been happier, for so long. But I just feel like if you do have like that gut instinct, or like that, feeling, or you already know like you deserve better, but you might either not have like the security to like move out, or like move on from the relationship, or like the strength and support. Like, yeah, it's gonna hurt, but like it's okay, because it's gonna get better. And who knows, you might find the love of your life in the middle of all of that. I was not expecting to find my future husband in the middle of
none of us, first of all.
Yeah, in the middle of like, a breakup. Like, that's the last thing you want to do, is like go into another relationship. And I'm like, wow, thank you, God. But yeah, like it's easier said than done. But like, if there's anyone out there, I guess the message that we want to relay is that it's okay to break that relationship, even if it's gonna hurt. It's okay to cry. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame in it. It's normal. Like, process the emotions and the feelings, and things are gonna be better.
A breakup is grieving. It's grief.
Yeah.
It's a grief, because you're not just losing like your intimate partner, you're losing like that friendship. It's a friendship, you know. You in that moment, you're telling that person what you're going through. You're leaning on them, like in that moment, that's who your person is. So yeah, you're losing a friendship. So that's why I think the grieving or the emotions of a breakup are always like a roller coaster. You're gonna be angry, you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be mourning that relationship.
Yeah.
Until you get past it. And we all will get past it. Like, I know in the moment sometimes it feels like I'm never gonna be happy, I'm never gonna find happiness. Why me? What did I do? Like, I did this and this and this for you. Like, why would you do me dirty? I know we're all gonna have those questions, but at the end of the day, you just have to remember that it's not on you, it's on that person. You can't blame yourself. They decided to not take the next step. They decided that you were not their person, because it can be like that. You can be in a long-term relationship and you might think they're your person, but you don't ever know what they're thinking too. And sometimes people are afraid to even say how they feel, or they don't know how to express themselves. But well, hey, see, there is a brighter side. Things do get better. Things get better.
And I feel like too, a lot of it comes from like, sometimes, we go back to like our childhood, or the traumas that we've experienced, or sometimes we don't value ourselves as a woman enough, and we don't feel like we're worthy of something better and something more, and like our fairy tale man, right? So I just feel like you value yourself and always put yourself first, and the right man is gonna see that in you and love you for that.
Right man or right woman, whatever you like.
Whatever you like, but right woman, right man. I feel like just be yourself, and like stick to your values, and know your worth, and be confident. You guys deserve what makes you truly happy.
Yeah.
Because being, in a relationship where you're just kind of going day by day, just, living in it because you're just comfortable, it's not good. It doesn't feel right.
Is there something that you do appreciate from your past relationship, like something that you can take from it and you learn from it, from your past relationship?
That
you're like, you know what, that relationship had to happen for whatever reason it had to happen for. Is there something you'd be like, at least I learned this?
I guess not so much like I learned this. It's so much of like, it helps me appreciate my current relationship a lot more, because I've been in a relationship that I didn't get what my heart truly wanted. Like all the romantic side, the corny side, the dates, the gifts, like the words of affirmation is big on me.
Yes.
You know, I never was told you're beautiful or you're gorgeous, like, you know.
Oh, you look pretty today.
Yeah, like on date nights or whatever. So, and you know, like, we all want to be told that, you know. Whether you're a man or a woman, we all want to be loved.
Like, you look good today. Like a compliment from your partner. Yeah, you need that. Like, all right, that's my man. Like or my woman. Like, they're into me. You want to feel wanted, and that's part of feeling wanted. It doesn't just necessarily mean like be in bed only or like going on a date. It's like also words of affirmation. It's the touch. The holding hands, the like showing emotion here and there, like, hey, like, I love you, you know? I know what you mean. I feel like some people don't like to be touched too much, but regardless if you don't like to be touched too much, everybody likes to have that affirmation for sure. Like, like to be sure like your partner is like there, you know?
Yeah, so I would say that's what, like, you know, and not that I wouldn't have appreciated my, you know, everything my fiance does for me now, but it just helped me appreciate him so much more. Like, oh my God, you're what I wanted. You guys do exist. You know what I mean? Like, thank you. Like, I love you. So I feel like too, like, I know we all think like we have like this dream girl or guy in our brain, you know, and you're like, oh, you know what? Because dating's hard these days. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's not fun. At least
I can only imagine.
it's not fun these days. Like, I feel like a lot of, you know, the values have gone down, and especially, you know, when it comes to respect and loyalty and marriage, like having a family, like it's not like it used to be back in the day. It's more like nonchalantly now, you know.
Yeah, like I feel like people I mean, not everyone here. Right. I respect everybody's relationship, but I do feel like sometimes people get engaged just cause like I feel like they don't really have that meaning like, oh, I'm getting engaged because this is my person, this is my ride or die. I feel like sometimes like, oh yeah, I have to get married. Or I have to get married because I've been dating you for this long. Like, I feel like it's just like you said, like for other reasons. It's more like, we've been dating for this long, let's get married.
And I think it's really easy to settle too. After especially going like on a few dates, you know, like you're like, there's really nothing out there, nothing that's good. Maybe I'm making up this dream person in my head. And it's easy to get into that thought after failed dates, you know.
True, that's true.
So, but I feel like you don't give up, because there's gonna be that 1 in a million for everyone. At least I feel like, you know.
Well, then tell us how you met your fiance now. Let's tell us the story about your dating life. How did that go?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
it's because she, after the breakup, obviously we're talking about this past person because obviously they broke up. After the breakup, she was obviously all the roller coaster emotions that we talked about, but she also was just like, you know what, I'm gonna date. Like, kind of like a distraction, you know. We all do that. We all have to find a distraction. I mean, like I said, a breakup is a grieving, and everybody grieves differently. Some people are just on the potato couch and fucking eating ice cream and crying, and then next you know, they're gonna go out and party and drink or date around just to have fun. Other people do it backwards. It doesn't even matter. There's like no order, you know?
There's no judgment in it. You grieve how you need to grieve. There's no right or wrong.
So, after like a few months, my friend over here started getting on dating apps.
Yeah, so I never believed in dating apps. You know, I always...
You didn't. You did not believe in dating apps.
I'm even shocked right now that I even thought of making a dating app at that time, you know?
And what made you do the... Yeah, because you were like, so like, oh, I'm not going to date a dating app. Like, I feel like you were also thinking about like, with a family member swipes on you.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh, my uncle coming across my dating app. And I did come across a cousin or two, but we'll leave that there.
I'm
not saying names, Primos. But I saw y'all there.
You know you are.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw me. But you know, I was like in the point where I feel like dating app was a little more accessible, you know, and you know, I was working a lot, 12-hour shifts, so I would get home and not really want to do much. And I don't know, I think one day I was like, you know what do I have to lose from this? Like, I don't take dating apps seriously, but then again, like, why not?
Let me give you guys a little background on Melissa. Melissa's an RN. She works in the ER, and you know them knock shift, 12-hour shifts, so she had very little time to go out and have fun.
Yeah, so I opened it with no I mean, I had no hope with it. I was just like, why not? Who cares? Let's just see where it takes me. So I opened it in no hopes of finding a husband. And fiance. And let me tell you, I had some horrendous failed dates that I was like, I would talk her all my date stories, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is so sad. Like I have no hope. Like
no,
I'm gonna be like go to the doctor and have my own family.
My favorite part about her dating was those stories. And I was like, oh my god, what happened? Oh my god, girl, and what? He did what? Yeah.
It's wild out there. If you're dating if you're dating out there, good luck and
changuitos for you.
Good luck, you guys. It's rough.
It's rough.
It's rough, man. It's rough.
It is, especially like when you're older now. Like obviously, if you're like 21, 19, like girl,
it's fun.
You're at the club right now. You're doing you. You probably still have like friends from like college, like you know, you have friends, so it's easier. But when you're older and you're like, you have like certain standards, you know, whether that's a job or whether that's the age, the height, do they have kids, are they divorced, you know, because
are they looking for a serious relationship?
Yeah, they're looking for a serious relationship. You know, like what's. Do they live nearby? You know, the distance is a big thing for some people. Yeah. So it's hard out there to like, and also the attraction. Let's not ignore that, because I feel like a lot of people see like, oh my god, you're just into looks,
right?
But it's like, no, it's not just the looks, but you have to find the person attractive.
Well, let's be honest. Like we're all like, you know, we're all guilty of this. What's the first thing that really catches your eye when you meet someone? It's not their personality, because you don't know them.
Yeah.
Like, let's all be honest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's whoever you're attracted to, and then you talk to them, and you know.
Because someone can be attractive and you can like, there's no bond. You know, so the attraction is not all, but it is a part of it. You know.
Right. It's not like everything. It's not. You know, they can be really attractive but have a really crappy attitude.
And sometimes you might not even like have it. It does happen when sometimes you don't even find them attractive, but then you start finding them as you get to know them.
You start falling in love with their personality.
The person, yeah. So I think that's a beautiful way to fall for someone, though. Like you fell in love for the whole person, you know. But yeah, dating out there and swipe, especially through pictures. Some men, it's for my straight girlies, my straight amigas. Like, you know, some men do not know how to take pictures. they get like funny angles.
Yeah, guys don't know. It's not like us girls. We know everything, you know. But yeah, so that's how I met him. I got on the dating app and I swiped right on him, and he did the same. And I had to message him first, and I was like nervous. So.
Why did you have to message? Oh, because of the app?
Yeah, that's how that app works. Oh. The girls message the guy first, so we don't feel, you know, bombarded with messages.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, it kind of puts you out there, and it makes you think twice. And I did not want to message him because, you know, it's nerve-wracking messaging for the first time.
Yeah, like you don't know what to say. What should be the first hi, hey, and then you delete it?
So I was like, oh my gosh. So, you know, I slept on it and I left it there. And I think, if I remember, I'm not sure, on that app, you have so many, like maybe 24 hours to match the person, and then you unmatch.
If you don't message them.
Yeah. So
it's like, get to it.
Yes. So I remember I went to work and I'm like, you know, I don't care. And that night I got home from work and I was just on the app, you know. And I think I only had like 1 more hour. And I was just sitting there like, no. And I would put my phone away and I'm like, wait. You know, I was like going back and forth, and I finally messaged him, and, you know, he messaged me back, and we hit it off, and we were messaging for a few days, and he finally gave me we exchanged numbers. And I remember the first message that I texted him was, hey, do you know who this is? And he replied saying, the girl who hasn't gone to Yosemite.
Because he's an outdoor guy, by the way. Her fiance is an outdoor to me man.
My guy's like caveman. And he just couldn't believe that I've lived in Fresno almost my whole life, and I haven't gone to one of his favorite parks. And I was like, no. So he took me there for my first time, but yeah, that's how we met online.
But tell them how you did not want to go on that date. She almost didn't want to go on that date, guys. Don't forget that very important detail. At that time, let me start it for you. At the time, we were having a Friendsmas, you know, with Cyrus, friends from LA, my friends from here, we're having a whole Friendsmas. And Melissa came. Did you come here to get ready, or?
Yeah, I already had this date with him, and I came here to get ready.
Okay, I was like, you
I was
did
gonna
come
hang out with
here.
you girls after.
Oh yeah, and then after that, she was gonna hang out with us. But she was like, you know what? I don't know. I think I'm gonna lag. And we were like, let me see. And she's all showing like pictures. She's like, I just don't know. Like at the same time, she was just like,
I was tired of dating at that point.
Yeah, and she was like, I don't know. And I was like, you just never know. Like you already have the date set. She was already ready, looking good, you know. So I was like, you never know. Like just go. And then I was like, we were all telling her, like me and my friends were like, if you need help, if you need out of that like date, just call us, or we'll create it. Did we create like a secret and
Yeah, they were like, just call us. It was you and your friend. We're getting ready, and I'm like, you know what, girls? I'm just gonna stay here with you guys. Like, I honestly, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to go on no more dates. Like, I'm gonna take a break because you know they've all been failed dates. Like, it's weird. It's rough out there, I say. And they were like, Melissa, just go. Like, you know, you already like made plans with him. You never know. And literally, Iromi was the one that convinced me to go because I was like this close to canceling. And she's like, just go. You never know. And I'm like, fine, just now. But I'm only gonna go for a little bit and come back. And I did not come back in a little bit.
She did not come back in a little bit, but he did drop her off because you Ubered there, huh?
I Ubered there, and I was 45 minutes late.
She was 45 minutes late. Poor guy was all waiting. Hey, but it looks like he didn't mind because look at now. They're engaged, about to get married. So, see? You just never know what the world has in store for you because you did not. If you go back a year and a half ago, you would not think.
No, that I would be engaged. If you told the old me in a year and a half you're going to be engaged for a year, because he proposed to me a year after being in a relationship, I would have never guessed. You know, after like my breakup, I thought I'm not getting married. You know, like that's it for me. You know, I'm old. So my timeline said, you know.
Timeline, yeah.
Yeah, so no, I would have never imagined. But you know, they say the best things come unexpected.
Yes. And what is it they say? Expect the unexpected for sure.
Oh, most definitely. But you know, I feel like, yeah, we all go through things that, you know, might be rough at the moment, but there's always the light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
At least from my experience, you know, I'm like, that's why I was open to sharing like my story with everyone, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that has been in the situation I was in. And, you know, if you're in that relationship, like, take it from me, like, there's hope, like, when you least expect it.
What's more of this story? Do not settle.
And self-love, baby girls.
Self-love, for sure. If they don't make you feel like the most prettiest girl in this whole wide world, or men, if they don't make you feel handsome, because men, hey, there's abuse the other way around too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mentally and physically too. Like I feel like we tend to forget about the men too, but don't like settle. Just always think about your happiness. Think about like, am I happy? Does she make me feel confident, loved, wanted? Do I feel secure in this relationship? You have to think about all those things, because happiness is about all those things.
And not just that, but life is short.
Life is short, for sure.
I think it's shorter than we all mentally think.
No, for real. Because recently I was just thinking that the other day. I was like, the saying is so like cliche, like, oh, life is too short, and we all use it, but I don't think none of us really put some thought into that phrase. Like, no, literally, life is short, because tomorrow's never promised either. You just never know. Most people think, oh, I'm not gonna die until I'm old. No, baby girl, baby boy, like, you just don't know, amigos. Like, seriously, life is too short. Things happen unexpected in our lives. We just never know. And
yeah, life is short, so I feel like whatever time we have here, you know, we should live happy and, you know, do what makes you happy at the end of the day, because that's what, you know, that's your happiness, like, that's your life, and you just never know. And so don't be settling, you know, and find your happiness and what makes you happy.
And yeah, and that's the same to my LGBTQ plus people out there. This is when I said that you say, oh, like I came out, my parents didn't accept me. We're going here back to happiness. Like, I know it hurts. I know it hurts because that's your family, that's your parents, your siblings. And if they don't accept you, I know it hurts. But at the end of the day, it's your life and it's what you make of it. They decided what to do with their life. They don't get to dictate yours and your happiness. So I know they birthed you, they're your parents, but at the end of the day, it's your life. You're the one living it. They already did whatever they wanted with theirs. And if this is who you are, then sometimes you have to distance away from your family. And most time, they just need time and they'll come around. And if they don't come around, then it's their loss, because you create your own family. You create who your family is going to be. You decide who's in your life and who isn't going to be in your life.
So how did you feel after you told, your parents about you coming out? Like, how relieved were you, or what were your emotions?
Yeah, that's another thing. I was so relieved. Like, it's such an amazing feeling that you don't have to hide. Like, I don't have to hide who I am. Like,
how did it feel hiding that about you to your mom? Like,
well, honestly, to my mom, I was never scared of my mom. It was more my dad that I was scared of. And even though, like, I haven't had that conversation with him, personally, he knows,
Yeah.
But I feel like the most important people the most important people to me, I told them, like, which is like my close cousins, my mom, like my friends that I'm close with. So everybody else found out through a picture on my Instagram. And
did you feel like, in a sort, it was almost like a breath of fresh air, like after you told your mom, like, out loud, and like made it known to her?
Yes, it was a relief. I didn't have to hide it. It's a relief. Like,
and how did she take it?
I recently just had this conversation with my brother in the previous episode. And like I said, like, we both said, like, yeah, my mom obviously wasn't truly happy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, every parent does not, especially their generation, they would want to see you with a man and a woman together,
especially
what I mean?
Being in
but in my face, she never made me feel unwanted, and for that I'm very appreciative. She was there for me, and she said, this is really truly who I was and wanted, and that's what I chose. Like, then she was happy for me.
She made it a safe spot.
She made it a safe spot, but I know she was hurt, obviously,
right.
and she's entitled to that. But now looking back, like, now today, present, she's 100% like over that, But
yeah.
But I know I hurt her, and me and my brother both know it, because my brother even told me, like, yeah, she told my cousin and him, But yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you, like, for even, like, coming out, because I know, like, not to say anyone else is in the wrong for not coming out, but there's a lot of people that don't feel the courage to come out just yet, and it's unfortunate. Like, I can't say I know how hard it is, because I'm not in those shoes. But I can only imagine, like, how hard that might be to, like, actually come out, especially to your parents, and, like, publicly, especially these days of social media. There's so many negativity out there, and
there is. It's so
sad. Like, it's too much.
I see some of the comments, and sometimes I'm like, some people are ballsy, like, just because they're behind a screen, and it's so sad how you literally can be the cause of someone's, like, breakdown. And
it can lead to worse than that.
And I don't understand. Like, I don't know how people don't get that quote. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Well, not just that, but, like, what is it to them?
In what way does it bother you?
Like, it doesn't matter where you find your love and happiness, and what matters is that you're happy, because a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to find their person like that, So that's, like, one of the things, like, I'm proud of you for, like, coming out and being so public with your relationship. Like, I admire you for that, because I know it's not easy.
How was it for you, like, when you found out I was gay? How did you feel about that?
I felt no way about it. Like, I think because we're in this generation, again, it's so common, like, it's accepted now, well, for the most part,
Like, it's more accepted. It's more accepted by the public than it was before.
Right.
Sure. People had to hide.
Right, like, in our parents' generation, they could never, So, but I feel like for me, like, I think it went either way. Like, I didn't mind. I was happy that you were publicly out about it, because I know that has to be hard, is to hide who you genuinely are in public, you know? So in our relationship, you know, it's the best. Like, you know, you're my person, and like, I just want whatever's happy for you, and you know, I'm always gonna support you and your partner, and I'm here for you. So, you know, I really do love you, and I'm so grateful for you, because I feel like you've helped me through so many rough patches in life.
Wait, stop. You make me cry. In this podcast, we just cry.
Like, you've been there for me. I'm so grateful I met you. You were there through my dad. You were there through my breakup. And now you're here through my happiness. You know, you've been there through the worst times and the best times of my life. And like, I thank God to have you in my life, you know, because like, when anything bad or good happens to me, like, you're the person, you know, that aside from my fiance, like, you're the person I want to call and like share these news with. Like, I literally want to call both of you at the same time and be like, you guys, guess what, you know? And I feel like we're so blessed to have the bond we have, because a lot of girls don't have that friendship with another girl that they can genuinely like trust with their whole life, and like genuinely like get raw with each other, and like tell you the ugly and the bad and all the thoughts I'm having and how I'm feeling, without feeling like, should I tell you this because I might be judged? And to me, it's like, that's the biggest blessing, because you know, we've all gone through hard stuff in life, and if we don't have, I always think back, like, if I didn't have you, what would I done? Like, how would I have handled things? Because you're just like, I don't know, I love you, and you're my person, and I'm just so blessed to have you. And I don't tell you this enough, but you know, I love you.
Oh, I love you.
Hey, what do you do to these podcasts?
Guys,
some water.
At this point, we're gonna call it Gossip and Cries.
Yeah, you're gonna have to change your name to Gossip and Tears.
Gossip and Tears. I love it. I think we're gonna change it, guys.
I think so, you guys. I don't know what's about this here, but wow. I don't know how we just went there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa. Honestly, I feel the same way. Like that one day, we were doing Sarah was interviewing me and her YouTube channel, and one of the questions was like, who was that one person you recall right now?
Oh my gosh, you guys.
She felt me. I called her. She didn't answer my phone.
I was in the shower.
She was.
And I mean, my phone's on vibrate, and of course, right before she calls me, we're texting back and forth. I don't know about what. It's probably some gossip per usual, you know. Yeah. And some chisme, you know how it is. And then I just replied to her, and I'm already in the bathroom just waiting for my water to warm up. You guys know how that is. So I'm standing there texting her in my birthday suit, you know, and then I sent her the last text, and I jump in, and my phone is still open, and she's calling me. I don't hear it. So she's like, wow, you know, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna think I let you down.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was her.
In the shower, you guys.
She was like, in my defense, you better tell the público that I was in my birthday suit. And I typed the message, I hit send, and I jumped in the shower.
I didn't even, like, my phone was still open. So I'm like, oh, she called me, and I text her right away when I got out. I'm like, hey, you called? Like, I'm sorry, I was in the shower.
Yeah, I was like, girl, you let me down.
Oh my gosh, of course. The one time I don't pick up.
I know.
I'm being put on live, you guys. Okay, that's to my defense.
You're forgiven.
Right.
But in my behalf and the behalf of the público.
Muchas gracias. Lo agradezco.
But saying thank you, B. I honestly, you're my person. Like, I mean, I feel like it's weird when there's a day that goes by and I don't talk to you. Like, excuse me, how come I haven't heard from her or something? So we're always talking. So I feel the same way. Like, I feel like there's nothing that happens in my life that you don't know right away.
We're a package deal.
Yeah.
I always tell my fiance, I'm like, I'm so sorry, because like, this is my circle. Sarah and Hiromi, you know? And I'm like, I'm sorry that I don't have a homie for you to hang out.
Lesbians, guys. It's me and Sarah, and obviously you guys know Kenya. Some of you guys know our other cousin, Kenya. She's also gay, and then her partner.
Yeah.
And who else? Oh, then our friend Katie and Lex. Lex. So,
and literally, like, all our circle, he's the only guy all the time. And I'm like, I'm sorry, babe. Like, I do not have a homie for you. Like, it's not like my girlfriends have boyfriends, you know? And he's like, oh, no, I don't care. But he fits right in.
But he fits right in.
He loves the tea, too.
He loves a chisme, for sure. He loves a chisme. He fits in. Like, we can be saying, he'll be like, no way. Like, he, like, puts his input, too. Like, he's truly there. He's amazing. He's amazing to all of us. He, like, we call him primo. He calls me prima. Like, I'm glad God sent you him, for sure. And I'm glad that you finally find happiness. And I feel like that's a lesson learned for you too. Like, you also know what red flags to look at now.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not gonna settle there, which I don't think you have any issues with him whatsoever.
No, I don't. Especially with my ring. Okay,
that's why I said yes. That's why I said yes. She said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope some of you guys at home, from wherever you're listening, I hope that you can relate, or maybe if you're going through something, I hope this helps you and gives you some motivation to walk away if that's not the relationship for you, or whatever you're going through. I hope that this podcast brought you some peace, or you can take something from it. That's my goal for this, is to always take something. That's what's called Gossip and Guidance, girl. We chismean and we give guidance here.
And you're not alone, you know. I think we've all been there, done that, been through rough patches in the past, you know. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. Even if you are in that unhappy relationship right now, it's okay. But now you know, like, that there's that, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. You can move forward, love yourself, put yourself first, and once you're radiating that self-love, I feel like that attracts the right person.
Yes.
You know, put your foot down, set your values, and just stick
or maybe stop worrying about a relationship and just let it come to you. Sometimes you just have to let go and focus on other things. Maybe put your focus somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But there's always, sometimes it's greener on the other side, okay, guys?
It is. And it's okay, baby girls. You'll get there. You'll get through it.
You will. You sure will. Thank you, Melissa, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe we'll have you over again some other time. We can talk some other teas. You know, like
always down for that gossip and tea. You know that.
Okay, guys. Well, I want to say thank you for listening and watching from wherever you are. If you're on your way to work right now, or if you're washing the dishes, you're getting the kids to school, wherever. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to subscribe. And then always leaving suggestions what you guys want to hear next, who you like to see on this podcast, what do you want me to talk about, if there's something personal you guys need to know about me. And also don't forget to follow my podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.